A lot of the items that we're using every day, specifically in our kitchen, are pretty toxic to varying degrees, and through repeated exposure could be harming your health. Some of these toxins, they're affecting your energy, your mood, your hormones, and some of them are even leading to long-term diseases like cancer. So it is worth your time. You have to know that these companies, they don't care about you. So it's up to you to do the research and make a smart choice. The more information that's coming out, the more concerning it's becoming and the more that I'm taking it seriously. So I'm just passing that along. I would say all of these are worth switching out, but we are going from least concerning to most concerning. And we're going to start with plastic wrap, cling wrap. I know it's so convenient when you have your leftovers just to put a little plastic wrap on it and call it a day. However, plastic wrap contains PVC and phthalates, which they get heated on your leftovers and they leach into the food. And those are known to disrupt your hormone and can even be linked to reproductive issues. So it's best to avoid using plastic wrap. Instead, they make beeswax wrap and they're reusable. So you buy them once and you can use them indefinitely. You just kind of heat them with your hands and the heat melts the beeswax and it makes a nice seal. Next up on our list are non-organic spices. And this one kind of surprised me. I didn't realize or really think about it, that there's a lot of not only like heavy metals, lead, like other things mixed in with the really cheap spices. Some have even been found to be contaminated with lead, and a lot of them contain fillers. So what I would say here is it is worthwhile getting the organic spices. This one genuinely shocked me because I just never would have thought about this. Microwave popcorn bag. The interior lining of those microwave popcorn bags is covered in PFAs, and PFAs are one of the worst offenders. PFAs are forever chemicals, and they are so bad that there's even a condition called popcorn lung that was given to people working in the popcorn factory. It is so easy to air pop. You can just use your stove, put the popcorn kernels with some oil, or of course, you know, I have a gadget. This is a little glass container. I can put this in the microwave. This one's really cool because you put the butter on the top, and as it heats, the butter melts into it. Next up are your synthetic kitchen sponges, and it's not for the reason that you think. You might already know that sponges are a breeding ground for bacteria, but to make matters worse, the materials that they're made of are toxic. They're made from petroleum-based plastic, and then they're often treated with triclosan, which is a registered pesticide. And we're using this to clean our dishes that we're eating from. So the swap that I would suggest here are Swedish dishcloths. You guys know I actually have my own brand. We still do have some Swedish dishcloths left. You get it wet, it comes to life. You can use it to do your dishes. I use it to clean off the countertops. They're washable, reusable, and they're not toxic. They're made with cotton and cellulose. This one I knew was bad, but I didn't realize just how bad, you guys, and that is plastic cooking utensils, specifically any of them that are the black coated kitchen utensils. And here we have BPA, polymers, and flame retardants. And because you're heating them, they're really leaching to the food. Anything that is toxic and then getting heated has far more exposure. These chemicals, the BPAs, can mimic estrogen and really mess with your hormones. They can even impact puberty and fertility and things like that. This is the last one I have hanging on. I'm literally throwing this in the trash. I would switch to the teak. The teak wood, they're gonna last a really long time. Can't do the silicone, but there are different grades of silicone, so you have to pay attention. Some of the silicone also has the leaching types of plastics in it, so you have to go for medical grade silicone if you're ever using it for cooking. Next, aluminum foil. I actually learned this one from one of you all commenting it, and then I looked into it, but when you think about it, it's not that hard to connect the dots. It's aluminum, and when it's getting heated, it is transferring aluminum into your food. A major theme here that I want to emphasize is anything that's getting heated is much more of a risk than something that's not heated or in contact with heat. And aluminum is a potential neurotoxin, so getting in there in your brain. I would just recommend switching from the aluminum foil to unbleached parchment paper is much better, and it's pretty much the same price. Now you can do the reusable baking mats. Again, you just want to make sure that they're medical grade silicone. A lot of these companies are sliding in with the lower quality silicone that's still leaching chemicals. Next up are canned tomatoes in particular are one of the highest sources of BPA exposure that we have. It's actually receipts and canned tomatoes. So the swap that I've made recently is I buy dried goods, like dried beans now, dried black beans. I find that they taste better. They're so much less expensive. You just have to soak them overnight. But if you do want to continue getting canned food, just look for glass or make sure on the can it says non-BPA lining. This next one, I have to personally apologize to you guys because it is a product that I have recommended in the past, and that was not realizing at all until more recently how bad it was, and that is plastic cutting boards. And I guess I just wasn't thinking about it at the time, but when you're cutting your food, there's little plastic bits that are coming up, and that's getting into your food that you're then eating. So either the clear acrylic or all the other kind of cheapy plastic cutting boards, you do want to make the swap to the wood, bamboo. This one is a bit niche, but I want you all to check your pots and pans and muffin tins and bakeware. Go see if any of them are scratched. Once you scratch it, it basically starts to release and flake off into your food. If any of your bakeware is scratched, damaged, I would just throw it away. It is not worth the risk of exposure. This is another one I have to apologize for. I have spoke about this more recently of making the switch from regular commercial dish soap to a more natural option, because for a while I recommended the Dawn dish liquid. And I only found out maybe about 6 months ago that it's loaded with chemicals, sulfates, synthetic preservatives, artificial fragrance, and then you're cleaning your dishware and it's leaving a coating on your dishware. And you put your food on that and you eat it. You see where I'm going with this. And I know this one might be annoying. This one was hard for me. You can get organic alternatives for a really great price and they work well. Okay, now we're getting into the big three, the top three. If anything else you pay attention to, let it be these. Plastic food storage containers, Tupperware. You really want to make the switch to glass if you have not done so yet. When you are putting your hot food in there, you are leaching chemicals into your food. And even if your plastic food storage containers say that they're BPA free, what these companies have done is they have replaced it with something called BPS. So they're very similar. They can still claim to be BPA free, but it's almost the same thing. And again, you're heating it. These are endocrine disruptors, hormone disruptors. Anytime you are reheating your food, putting it in the microwave, think about what container it's in. Even if I make frozen meals, I will transfer it to a glass container. And another thing, sometimes people have the lids that can go on top of your food in the microwave so it doesn't splatter. Make sure those are glass. Number 2, air fresheners. Oh my gosh, this is the one that probably bothers me the most because it's something that's pretending to be healthy, freshening your air, but it's actually toxifying your air. I talked about this one in my scam products video I posted recently. I will have that down below. You should watch it next. But these air fresheners are releasing VOCs, volatile organic compounds, into the air. And most of our homes are not very well ventilated. So we're kind of in a hot box. We're hot boxing these chemical plugins, your Bath and Body Works plugins, your scented candles. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you can go for your essential oils. You can make a stovetop potpourri. And number 1, I feel like a good amount of us might know this one, but just in case you don't, Teflon / non-stick coated cookware, okay? That stuff that they're using, it's basically just toxic chemicals. They're taking these chemicals that are known hormone disruptors, known carcinogens, and is linked to cancer, hormone disruption, neurotoxicity. It's just really not worth it. So here are the swaps: stainless steel or ceramic. And the key that I've learned, put your oil or your fat on the pan and heat it up, bring it up from a low heat. Don't just blast the heat on it. That will help with the non-stick. In general, I hope that I helped make the case that these are easy swaps. And this isn't about being perfect. You don't have to swap out all of these things, but even just a couple of them will make an impact. Please share this with your other family members, your friends, to spread the word. And next, I recommend you watch my video on common scam products that you might not realize are scams. So I will have that video somewhere here, maybe on a card right here. So watch that next. Make sure you are subscribed if you're new, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye.